Hi, I'm Patrick Farris, Executive Director of the Warren Heritage Society in Front Royal, Virginia. I'm very fortunate to have this job, but in a different life, I was also a high school teacher at Warren County High School here in Front Royal. That's another job I was very fortunate to have. For one reason, it was incredibly enriching to me as an individual as well as to me as a professional. One of the people that I met when I was a high school teacher was Daniel Megeath. Daniel was a student like any other student when he began in my class, but over the course of the years that I knew him as a teacher as well as an individual living in the community, years after both I moved on from that job and he graduated from high school, I have been fortunate enough to watch Daniel grow. He has grown as a human being, he's grown as an entrepreneur, a businessman, and he's grown as a valuable member to his community. And I'm very happy to be able to give a testimonial about Daniel and about his company. Daniel has undergone adversity. Everybody does, but Daniel has undergone major adversity, enduring a car accident that most people would be fortunate to be able to just walk away from. Daniel did walk away from that, but had to endure a lot of recovery and surgery as a result. Again, this kind of thing has happened to other people, but it has had a transformative experience for Daniel. Instead of letting this become a thing that defined his life negatively, Daniel made this the thing that defined his life positively. I'm firmly convinced, having known him from the time he was a young teenager, that even if this event had not happened to him, he would have gone on to become the entrepreneur that he is. He would have gone on to become successful as a businessman, as he has done. But the fact that he has allowed this experience to make him not just a better business person and a better entrepreneur, but one with a mission, and such a positive mission, is something that makes me incredibly proud to know him. Again, I knew him when he was young. I'm one of those people who can say I was there near the beginning. I saw him when he was young. I could see that spark that he had. As a student, he was not one to raise his hand immediately, and that wasn't because he was shy. I'm convinced it was because he's intelligent. He wanted to hear what other people had to say before he weighed in. On the opposite end of the spectrum, though, Daniel was never one to be quiet. So if we were having a discussion in class, I could always count on Daniel's participation. I always knew he would have an opinion, and it would be a strong one, but it would be informed. Daniel would never jump in with 2 feet into a conversation, debate, or discussion without having a well-informed opinion in the first place. And if he didn't feel well-informed enough, he got so during the discussion. So by the time Daniel was weighing in, as a teacher, I had to be prepared, and you could tell that Daniel's fellow students felt the same. That was Daniel as a student. After he graduated high school, as he embarked on this career of being a business person who commanded his own company. It's not just something he created. He has great creative control over it. Still, he has plowed his personality into what he has done. He has not just made it a business. He has made it his reason for getting up in the morning, his reason for speaking to other people, his way of interpreting his role as a father. Daniel is a family man and a member of the community in every positive way that we as citizens would want to have people participate as members of families and members of communities. That's Daniel. He's the kind of person that you would call for help and know that if he says he's going to show up, he is, and that when he shows up, he's going to help you get done what you need to get done. His company, Believe in One, is one of those companies that if you're going to have branding, if you're going to have a logo, if you're going to be affiliated with something positive, and you don't just want, say, another fancy design, well, he has fancy designs, or what the kids would say today, what are they, Daniel, fly? But you can get his designs, but they have meaning, and they're deep, and they're the kind of, they contain the kind of simple, basic, but honorable message that I believe as an adult and a father, I would want my children to feel an affinity for. I would much rather see my child, and I still teach my students, wear his brand and wear his logo and understand the meaning behind the message than simply get a t-shirt or a cap with yet another sports team's logo on it. Nothing wrong with sports teams. I've got a few that I love. Go Tar Heels. But it is important that when children at that impressionable age, when they're becoming independent and they feel they have allegiance to different sports and they want to get out there and be involved physically themselves, and they want to wear the kind of clothes that tell their friends that they're sporty themselves and they want to be out there, so to speak, we want them to feel like there is something positive for that involvement. We don't want them to just have a tribal affiliation, if you will, to a given team. We want them as parents and as adults to have a positive understanding of how sports can impact their lives, about how that physical activity that they're engaged in is not just healthy for their bodies, but healthy for their minds and their souls, and can make them better people in their communities. Daniel Megeath's company, Believe in One, is a company that will help accomplish that for you if you're a parent or a teacher. If you know a young person and they're wearing these clothes, and you know that they have even a minimal understanding of that broad message that Daniel's company is giving us through their branding, then you can rest assured that you're seeing a young person who's on the right path.